Hey, it's Kevin again with Living in Wilmington. Are you a family or a parent and you're looking to move to our area? Well, today I'm going to break down 5 things that you have to know before moving here with kids. As a family of 6 with 4 kids, myself and my wife have really had to work hard to become involved with our local community. And so I'm going to break down 5 things that you really have to know in order to really find yourself as part of the Wilmington community and the Wilmington vibe. So make sure to stick around, because the 5th thing is going to really give you some insider tips on how to become involved and get to know the local community. Let's get started. The first thing that you really must know before you move to Wilmington is something you may already know or you may not, and that is Wilmington is so much more than a beach town. Yes, we have some incredible beaches and a beautiful riverfront, but we have a lot more to offer when it comes to kids and raising families. It would be very difficult to raise a family if we were only a beach town and just restricted by tourism and the seasonal activities. But because we do have so much more going on, it really makes us a well-rounded area to raise your children. We have a lot of schooling opportunities that range from charter schools, private schools, and some really well-rated public schools, and of course the public university and the Cape Fear Community College. But besides that, we also have summer camps. We have plenty of extracurricular activities and ways to really hone your skills, whether it's theater or learning how to code or sports. There's just so many opportunities. So go ahead and forget the idea that we're just a coastal town. We're a community, and we're a community that supports one another. We care about one another, and we are large enough to have a lot of opportunity, but small enough to feel like you kind of know each other. I mean, it's not unheard to hear, Wilmington is really a small town after all. I mean, it does have that feel. And there's these different sections and different pockets that you'll find that you may decide that this fits your lifestyle or this fits the way that you want to, kind of live your life with your family. The second thing that you really need to know about Wilmington before you move here with kids or as a young family is that we have a lot of family-friendly neighborhoods. Now, as you look at Wilmington and you go to the east, you're going to see the beaches, and as you go to the west, you're going to see downtown, which can become more urban in nature. If you go north, you'll find more rural areas when it comes to like Castle Hayne, Wrightsboro, and if you go further north, you'll be in places like Burgaw and Rocky Point, which is more like farmland. I mean, of course, there are neighborhoods, but it's just much more spread out than towards the center of Wilmington. It's about being a part of a community. It's about seeing each other every day, conversing every day, getting out of your car from the grocery store and talking for 20 minutes with the neighbor about everything they have going on. So if that's something you like, you may like some downtown neighborhoods. But it's always funny to me that after I've been to a neighborhood like that and I've been in one of these homes that are so close, then I can go somewhere like Pine Valley or even Porter's Neck or maybe even parts of Ogden, for instance, and suddenly the homes feel that much further apart. So you might get out of the car from the grocery store and, just wave at your neighbor, but you're not going to really engage them in the way that you would if your houses were much closer together. All right, let's move on to our 3rd point, which is school districts and education. Wilmington has a lot of opportunities when it comes to education. I can speak for our own family when I say that we've done homeschool, we've done homeschool co-op, we've done charter schools, we've done public schools, and if we're being honest, I've had so many advantages to every one of those opportunities. We also have Wilmington School of Arts and Sciences. We have the Fringe School. That's a private school. We just have a lot of opportunity. I was taking my kids to my 10-year-old to Science Olympiad this past year, and we went to one of the local schools to do the day which you do all the competitions and everything. And I was just so encouraged by how many schools there were representing New Hanover County in Science Olympiad. And it was just a really cool feeling, because you have all these people that are coming together for one day and they're just, trying their best to see if they can win. But at the same time, it's just the camaraderie of being with other people your age with similar interest. And it was just, it was a really good feeling to be a part of something like that. The 4th thing that you really must know before moving to Wilmington is that we have a lot more to do than just hang out at the beach all day. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to go to the beach. We take our family there multiple times a week in the summer, and it's a good time. But we have a lot more than that. There's a lot more to enjoy, especially during the summertime. One of those things that we like to do as a family is go to Jungle Rapids Water Park. It's located on Oleander Drive, closer towards the Wrightsville Beach. And when I was growing up, they had like 3 water slides. Now they have like 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know. So many water slides. They have like toddler areas, they have teenager areas, they have an indoor arcade, they have laser tag, golf, or not golf carts, go-karts. They have mini golf. And something we like to do every year is in December, they put their season passes on sale. So we will go down there, get some season passes for the family, and then come summer, we'll go and enjoy it for like 2-3 hours in the afternoon. And if you have the season pass, you're not concerned about getting your money's worth all in one day. You can just come, a few times a week and just enjoy it, and it's a really good time. Another opportunity is Airlie Gardens. Airlie Gardens is kind of a Wilmington tradition, and it's county-owned gardens. It does cost to go in, but they have programs throughout the year, and the gardens are just constantly tended to, and they're really beautiful. So you can do things during the Azalea Festival. They have a Christmas light show that's incredible. They have concerts during the summer. You can go and just enjoy and bring a lawn chair and just sit out there and enjoy the concert. They have a lot of really cool things happening at Airlie Gardens, and it's a good place to be. It's also a great place to take photographs if you want to do like a family photo shoot, or if you're getting married or something like that. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about is the aquarium at Fort Fisher. Now Fort Fisher is about 30 to 40 minutes south of Wilmington. So once you get off of Interstate 40, you have about 15 miles to get there. But once you get down there, the aquarium at Fort Fisher has so many, it's a really nice aquarium, and you could spend, a day there if you wanted to. You could go see where the hermit lived down at Fort Fisher. That's a story all in itself. Or just enjoy the day. They have like these gardens at Fort Fisher within the aquarium, and then they have the actual aquarium. You can touch and feel and get to and learn about all the different critters and reptiles and fish and all this stuff they have there. And then if you're down at Fort Fisher, we also have the Fort Fisher Museum, which has a lot of Civil War history. That's a fun day, and they recently rebuilt it, so that's been a really cool opportunity to get down there and learn more about Civil War history. So those are just 2 things down there on the south side of town. Another point to make is that if you want to get a pass to Fort Fisher, you can get a pass that also lets you go to area zoos. So like, if I remember correctly, we bought a pass one year that got us into Fort Fisher for the whole year into the aquarium there, and we could also use it for the Asheboro Zoo, and I believe we could use it for the zoo in Greenville, South Carolina. So there were a lot of opportunities from that. Another thing that we offer that a lot of people like to go to is Wilmington Sharks. That's our local baseball team, and they play games at UNCW. So that's a really good time. If you like baseball, head out to UNCW, see a few games, eat some sunflower seeds, have a good old time. Besides the things I've mentioned, we also have trampoline parks. We have, like I said, the Children's Museum downtown, the Battleship. If you like learning all about Wilmington and living in Wilmington, especially with kids and with families, make sure to like and subscribe below, and so you'll get notifications as soon as our videos hit YouTube. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and if you have a friend or a family member that's looking to move to the area, please send them this video, and maybe it can help them too. The 5th thing that you really want to consider before moving to Wilmington is actually a pocket of tips that I've put together that can really help you become accustomed to the area and get accustomed to different areas of town without necessarily having to commit right away. The first thing that you may want to consider is renting. Now, renting is not always the most popular option because, we all like the idea of owning our home at some point. But Wilmington has a number of short-term rental and long-term rental opportunities that would allow you to become a part of a neighborhood that you may be interested in, while at the same time consider your long-term goals. So if you're not ready to buy, or if you are ready to buy, but at the same time you're not ready to commit, then renting is definitely an opportunity or an option that you may want to consider. Another thing that you may want to think about before moving to Wilmington with kids is that while the beaches are a major draw for tourism, they don't always offer the same sense of community that you can find in other parts of town. So what I'm trying to say there is that beaches can be very touristy at times, and that can bring a lot of traffic to the area, and it can also kind of feel congested. And if you're raising young kids and you want to ride your bike, or you want to go to the local grocery store or be a part of some different programs in town, you may be fighting traffic in different times during the day if you live closer to the beach. Now, with that being said, I don't want to, brush with broad strokes, because there are some local communities in both Wrightsville Beach and Carolina Beach, for instance, that are very family friendly and very family oriented, but they're not always necessarily right on the beach. So it's not oceanfront property. And what I'm really speaking to with this point is oceanfront property. But there are places like Harbor Island, which is a really close, tight-knit community in Wrightsville Beach. And there's also neighborhoods in Carolina Beach that are just 2 or 3 blocks away from the ocean that at the same time offer you a neighborhood lifestyle. So just something to consider. Also, another thing that a lot of people don't think about is that in Wilmington we have flood zones. And with tropical storms, hurricanes, the rainy season in the summer, flood zones are definitely something you want to look at. So they are always updating those maps. A few years ago, we had Hurricane Florence that really made us revisit a lot of the flood maps that we had kind of gotten used to. So, I don't want to say that flooding's a problem in Wilmington, but, there are different areas where you want to think twice. And just because you're in a flood zone doesn't mean you shouldn't live there. It just means that you might want to think about, when was the house built? Which flood zone is it in? Because, there's different options when it comes to flood zones, and some cost more to insure than others. So it's not necessarily a right or wrong question. It's more of, is this something I can live with? Is the chance of flooding in this area 1 in 100 years? Is it a 100-year flood zone, or is it going to flood? Is it likely to flood in the next 10 to 20 years? So that's something you want to consider. You want to consider. You also want to think about wind and hail insurance. A lot of people don't realize that we do carry wind and hail insurance on our homes around here, and it's not the cheapest. So if you're not used to that, you may want to look at some of those rates before you decide to buy. Another thing that I hear from people all the time is our property taxes, which is actually a nice surprise, because compared to a lot of parts of the country, our property taxes are pretty low. So that may help you offset some of the wind and hail insurance premiums. A final opportunity that you may want to become a part of is that there are a number of groups on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, whatever it is, that you can kind of get to know local areas and talk to local people and get to and really ask them, frank questions that you may be wondering and you may want to figure out. So make sure to consider those opportunities and maybe get involved with some of those groups. And a lot of them are private, some are public, but they will allow you to kind of already kind of feel out what it is you're thinking or feeling about moving to the area, and it can help you kind of get your feet wet in terms of some of the questions that you have. I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you a brief overview of a lot of what Wilmington has to offer when it comes to raising your family and raising your children and really putting down roots in our area. If you have any questions, contact us below. We'll be more than happy to help you. We can help you search by school zone, by flood zone, by proximity to the university or downtown or your place of work or the beach. So contact us below. We'll be more than happy to help you with your home search and really help you get to know what our local area has to offer. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Kevin with Living in Wilmington. See you soon.